The storm came without warning that night in Montana. Jake Morrison stood on his porch, watching the dark clouds roll across his ranch. Lightning split the sky like broken glass. Thunder shook the old farmhouse windows. Jake was 34 years, old, and lived alone. His wife Mary had died 3 years ago in a car accident. Since then, he spent his days taking care of his cattle and fixing things around the ranch. The work kept his hands busy, but it did not fill the empty spaces in his heart. The rain started falling hard. Jake went inside and made coffee. He sat by the window, listening to the storm. Something felt different about this night, but he could not say what. Around midnight, a bright flash lit up the sky. It was not lightning. This light was blue and white, and it moved across the darkness like a falling star. Jake pressed his face to the glass. The light crashed somewhere in his back pasture. Jake grabbed his flashlight and rain jacket. He ran outside into the storm. The wind pushed against him as he walked toward where the light had fallen. His boots sank into the muddy ground. In the middle of his field, Jake found something that should not exist. A small metal pod sat in a crater of burned earth. Steam rose from its silver surface. Strange symbols glowed along its sides in soft blue light. Jake had heard stories about alien ships. Earth had joined something called the Galactic Federation 50 years ago, but he had never seen anything like this with his own eyes. He walked closer to the pod. It was about the size of a small car, but shaped like an egg. A crack ran down one side. Through the crack, Jake could see a soft white light. Jake found a way to open the pod. The metal was warm, but not hot. Inside, he saw something that made his heart stop. A small girl lay unconscious on a bed of strange material. She looked about 8 years old. Her skin was pale like moonlight. Her hair was silver and fell in waves around her face. She wore clothes made of fabric Jake had never seen before. The girl was hurt. Blood ran from a cut on her forehead. Her breathing was weak and fast. Jake did not think twice. He picked up the girl and carried her to his truck. She was light as a feather. Her skin felt cold in his arms. He drove fast to town, through the storm and empty roads. Dr. Amy Foster lived above her clinic on Main Street. Jake pounded on her door until she answered. Amy was Jake's friend since high school. She had helped him through the dark days after Mary died. When she saw the girl in Jake's arms, she did not ask questions. She just led them inside. Amy laid the girl on the examination table. Under the bright lights, Jake could see her better. The girl had pointed ears like in fairy tales. Her eyes, when they fluttered open for a moment, were deep purple. "Jake," Amy whispered. "What is she?" "I don't know," Jake said. "I found her in a crashed pod in my field." Amy cleaned the girl's wounds. The cuts healed faster than they should. Much faster. Within an hour, only small pink lines remained where the blood had been. Her body temperature is lower than human. "Normal," Amy said. "Her heart beats differently, too. But she's stable now." The girl slept for 2 days. Jake stayed by her side the whole time. He brought blankets from home to make her more comfortable. Amy checked on them every few hours. On the 3rd morning, the girl opened her eyes. They were the color of violets after rain. She looked at Jake, with fear and confusion. "It's okay," Jake said softly. "You're safe now. I'm Jake." The girl tried to speak, but the sounds were not English. They were musical, like singing. Jake could not understand the words, but he heard the sadness in them. Over the next few days, the girl learned to say simple English words. Jake taught her slowly and gently. He brought her picture books from the library. Amy helped, too, showing her how human bodies worked. The girl was smart, very smart. She learned new words every day. Within a week, she could have basic conversations. "What's your name?" Jake asked her one evening. She thought for a long moment. Then she made a sound like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. Jake could not say it right. "Can I call you Luna?" he asked. "Like the moon? Your hair reminds me of moonlight." The girl smiled for the first time. It was like sunrise after a long night. "Luna," she repeated. "I like Luna." Jake knew he should report finding her to the Federation authorities. There were rules about alien contact. But when he looked at Luna, all he saw was a scared little girl who needed someone to care for her. The crashed pod had left no useful information. Its computers were damaged beyond repair. There was no way to know where Luna came from or how to contact her people. Sheriff Kate Williams came by the clinic one day. She had heard rumors about Jake finding something strange. Just a lost child. From one of the outer colonies, Amy told her. Jake's taking care of her while we try to find her family. Kate looked suspicious, but she did not push for details. The outer colonies were far away and poorly documented. It was believable that a child could get lost in the system. Jake made a decision that would change everything. He took Luna home to his ranch. The first night, Luna was scared of the dark. Jake sat by her bed and told her stories until she fell asleep. The second night, she had nightmares. Jake held her until the fear went away. By the end of the first week, Luna was following Jake around the ranch. She watched him feed the cattle and fix the fences. She asked questions about everything she saw. "Why do the cows eat grass?" she asked. "Because that's what makes them healthy and strong," Jake answered. "Why do you take care of them?" "Because they depend on me. When someone depends on you, you don't let them down." Luna thought about this for a long time. Jake started teaching Luna how to act more human. He showed her how to eat with forks and spoons. He taught her which clothes to wear and how to brush her teeth. Most importantly, he taught her to hide her pointed ears with her hair. "Why do I have to hide?" Luna asked. "Because people might not understand," Jake said. "And until we know more about where you came from, it's safer this way." Luna nodded. She was learning that humans could be kind like Jake and Amy, but they could also be afraid of things they did not understand. As the weeks passed, Jake realized something wonderful was happening. The empty spaces in his heart were filling up again. Not the same way they had been filled before, but in a new way. Luna brought light and laughter back into his quiet house. Late at night, when Luna was sleeping, Jake would sit on his porch and look up at the stars. Somewhere up there was Luna's real home. Somewhere up there, her real family might be looking for her. But for now, she was safe. She was loved. She was his responsibility, and Jake Morrison had never failed anyone who depended on him. 2 years had passed since Jake found Luna in his field. She was 10 years old now, but she seemed older in some ways. Her mind was sharp like a blade, and she learned things faster than any child Jake had ever known. Every morning, Luna helped Jake with the ranch work. She loved the animals, especially the horses. The horses loved her back. They would come to her when she called, even the wild ones that usually ran from people. "Papa Jake," Luna said one morning, brushing a mare's coat. "Why does Starlight trust me so quickly?" Jake smiled. Luna had started calling him Papa Jake 6 months ago. It made his heart warm every time she said it. "Animals can sense good hearts," he told her. "You have a very good heart, Little Star." Little Star was his special name for her. Luna's eyes would sparkle whenever he said it. Luna went to school in town now. Jake had been nervous about that at first, but Principal Roberts was a kind woman who understood that some children were different. She helped make sure Luna fit in. Luna was the smartest student in her class. She finished her math homework in minutes. She read books meant for high school students. Her teacher, Mrs. Davis, said she had never seen anything like it. "Luna is special," Mrs. Davis told Jake at a parent meeting. "Have you thought about having her tested for advanced programs?" Jake shook his head. "She's happy where she is. Sometimes being too different can make things hard for a child." Mrs. Davis did not understand, but she agreed to let Luna stay in regular classes. Luna's best friend was a girl named Mia Chen. Mia was small and shy, and some of the bigger kids picked on her. Luna always stood up for her friend. She never used violence, but somehow the bullies always backed down when Luna told them to stop. "How do you do that?" Mia asked one day after Luna had scared off 2 boys who were teasing her. "I just ask them nicely to leave you alone," Luna said. But Jake knew it was more than that. He had seen Luna's eyes glow faintly when she was angry or focused. He had noticed that people seemed to hear her thoughts sometimes, even when she did not speak them. Out loud, Luna was developing abilities that no human child should have. One evening, Jake sat Luna down for a serious talk. "Luna, you know you're different from other children, right?" She nodded. "Because I'm from somewhere else." "That's right. And sometimes you can do things other kids can't do. Like when you knew Mrs. Peterson was going to fall off her ladder before it happened," Luna looked worried. Did I do something wrong? No, sweetheart. You saved her from getting hurt. But we need to be careful about these things. Some people might not understand. Jake had been researching alien species in the Federation database. He had found references to something called Etherians. They were described as an ancient, powerful race that rarely interacted with other species. The descriptions matched Luna perfectly, but Etherians were supposed to be myths, stories told by spacers in distant bars. No one had ever proven they really existed. Luna was growing taller and more beautiful every month. Her silver hair reached her waist now. Jake had learned to braid it the way she liked. Her purple eyes seemed to hold depths of wisdom that made Jake feel like she was looking into his soul. Sometimes Luna would stare at the stars for hours. Jake would find her on the porch at night, gazing up at the sky with a longing expression. Do you remember anything about before? He asked her one night. Sometimes I dream, Luna said. There's a woman with hair like mine. She sings to me in a language I understand in the dream, but forget when I wake up. Jake felt a cold fear in his chest. Do you want to find her? Luna looked at him with those wise purple eyes. She feels far away, Papa Jake. You feel close. You feel like home. Relief flooded through Jake, but he knew that someday Luna's past might come looking for her. That someday came sooner than expected. 3 years after Jake found Luna, strange things started happening around the ranch. Electronic devices would malfunction when Luna was upset. The radio would pick up signals in languages that did not exist on Earth. Sometimes Jake would find Luna in the barn at night, her hands glowing faintly as she touched the old tractor, somehow making it run better than it had in years. Luna, Jake said gently one morning, we need to talk about what's happening to you. She was 13 now, but she looked older. Her features were becoming more defined, more clearly alien. Her ears were harder to hide. Her eyes glowed more often. I can't control it sometimes, she admitted. It's like there's something inside me trying to wake up. Jake held her close. We'll figure it out together. We always do. But privately, Jake was worried. Luna was changing fast. Her abilities were getting stronger, and strange energy readings had been detected in Earth's outer system. Dr. Foster had friends in the Federation who told her about it. Luna started having more vivid dreams. She would wake up speaking words in the musical language Jake had first heard from her. She would draw pictures of stars and ships and symbols that looked like the ones from her crashed pod. I think someone is calling to me, Luna told Jake one day. In my dreams, I can hear voices. They're getting closer. Jake's heart sank. He had always known this day might come, but he had hoped for more time. The town had accepted Luna completely now. She helped at the church bake sales. She babysat for neighbors. She tutored younger students at school. Everyone loved her kindness and bright spirit. Sheriff Kate Williams had stopped asking questions about Luna's background years ago. As far as the town was concerned, Luna Morrison was Jake's adopted daughter from a distant colony. End of story. But Jake knew the truth was more complicated than that. One night, Luna came to him with a serious expression. Papa Jake, what if my real family comes for me someday? Jake's throat felt tight. What would you want to happen? I don't know, Luna said. I love you. You're my papa. But sometimes I feel like there's a whole part of me that I don't understand. What if I need to know where I came from to understand who I am? Jake thought about this for a long time. Luna, no matter what happens, you'll always be my daughter. Love doesn't disappear just because circumstances change. Promise? Luna asked. I promise, Jake said, and he meant it with every fiber of his being. But as he tucked Luna into bed that night, Jake noticed something that made his blood run cold. Through the window, he could see a bright star that had not been there the night before. It was moving slowly across the sky, getting bigger each night. Jake researched Federation star charts. No scheduled ships were supposed to be in this system. No human vessels had those energy signatures. The approaching ship was using technology that no Earth scientist understood. It was heading straight for their solar system. And somehow, Jake knew it was coming for Luna. He stood in Luna's doorway, watching her sleep peacefully. Her silver hair spread across her pillow like moonbeams. Her face was calm and innocent. Jake made a decision that night. Whatever was coming, whoever was coming, they would have to go through him first. Luna was his daughter in every way that mattered. He had raised her, loved her, protected her for 5 years. He would not give her up without a fight. The star in the sky grew brighter each night, and with each passing day, Luna's abilities grew stronger. She was remembering things she had never learned. She could fix complex machines with a touch. She could sense people's emotions from across town. "Something big is coming, isn't it, Papa Jake?" Luna asked one evening as they watched the approaching star. "Maybe," Jake said. "But whatever happens, we'll face it together." Luna took his hand. Her fingers were warm and glowed faintly in the darkness. "I'm not afraid," she said. "As long as you're with me, I'm not afraid of anything." Jake squeezed her hand. He was afraid enough for both of them, but he would never let Luna know that. The star grew bigger every night, and Jake Morrison prepared to fight for his daughter. The strange star had been growing brighter for weeks. Luna was 15 now, though she looked older. Her alien heritage was becoming harder to hide. Her ears were clearly pointed, and her purple eyes glowed when she was emotional. Jake had moved Luna to homeschooling. It was safer that way. The town still accepted her, but Federation inspectors sometimes came through, and Jake could not risk them seeing Luna too closely. Luna's abilities were getting stronger every day. She could hear thoughts from miles away when she concentrated. She could make broken things work just by touching them. Sometimes, when she was deeply focused, she would float a few inches off the ground without realizing it. "Papa Jake, I'm scared," Luna said one morning. She had woken up speaking in the musical alien language again. "The dreams are getting stronger. I can see faces now. There's a woman who looks like me, but older. She's looking for something, looking for someone." Jake sat beside Luna on her bed. She had grown tall and graceful, but when she was scared, she was still his little girl. "Tell me about the dreams," he said gently. "There's a beautiful city made of crystal and light. The woman walks through it, but she's sad. She's singing the same song over and over. I think it's about someone she lost." Luna's eyes filled with tears. "I think she's singing about me." Jake's heart ached. He had always known this day would come. Luna's people would eventually find her, but he had hoped for more time. The approaching ship was now visible even during the day. Federation headquarters had noticed it, too. They were sending their best scientists to study it. The energy readings were unlike anything they had ever seen. Dr. Amy Foster came to visit that afternoon. She had been Luna's doctor and friend for 7 years now. She was one of the few people who knew Luna's true nature. "Jake, I've been talking to my contacts at Federation Command," Amy said. "That ship up there is causing quite a stir. Its technology is centuries ahead of anything we have, and it's heading straight for Earth." "Have they tried to communicate with it?" Jake asked. "They've sent every signal they know, no response. But Jake, there's something else. The ship's energy signature matches some of the readings they got from Luna's crash pod years ago." Jake felt cold all over. "They kept records of that?" "Just energy readings. Nothing that would lead them to Luna directly. But if they put the pieces together," Jake looked out the window at Luna. She was in the garden, talking to the flowers, literally talking to them. The plants seemed to grow taller and more vibrant when she was near. "We need to be ready for anything," Jake said. That night, Luna had the most vivid dream yet. She woke up screaming a name in her alien language. When Jake rushed to her room, she was sitting up in bed, her eyes glowing bright purple. "Lyrelai," Luna whispered. "Her name is Lyrelai. She's my mother." Jake felt like someone had punched him in the stomach. He had been Luna's only parent for 7 years. The idea of another mother was terrifying. "She's coming for me, isn't she?" Luna asked. Jake could not lie to her. "I think so, little star." Luna started crying. "I don't want to leave you, Papa Jake. This is my home. You're my family." Jake held her tight. "No matter what happens, that will never change. You'll always be my daughter." But even as he said the words, Jake wondered if he would be able to keep that promise. The next few days were tense. The ship was now close enough that its details could be seen through telescopes. It was enormous and beautiful, made of some kind of silver metal that seemed to glow with its own light. The design was elegant and flowing, like a work of art. "Federation," Ships tried to intercept it, but the alien vessel ignored them completely. It was headed straight for Earth, and nothing was going to stop it. Luna's abilities were going wild. Electronic devices throughout the town would malfunction when she walked by. The street lights would flicker. Car radios would play music in her alien language. "I can't control it anymore," Luna told Jake. "It's like something inside me is responding to that ship, like it's calling to something in my blood." Jake had been preparing for this moment for years. He had legal documents stating that Luna was his adopted daughter. He had witnesses who would swear that she had been living with him since she was 8. He had built a life for her, a human life. But he was starting to realize that might not be enough. Sheriff Kate Williams came to the ranch that evening. She looked worried. "Jake, I've got Federation agents asking questions about unusual aliens in the area. They're specifically asking about children. I've been covering for you, but I don't know how much longer I can keep them away." "What kind of questions?" Jake asked. "They want to know about any aliens with advanced abilities, any unexplained energy phenomena, any children who might be more than they seem." Kate looked at Luna, who was sitting on the porch steps. "Jake, she's glowing." Jake looked. Luna was indeed glowing faintly, a soft silver light that surrounded her like moonlight. "Luna," Jake called gently. "Come inside, sweetheart." Luna stood up, and for a moment she floated. Her feet were 6 inches off the ground before she seemed to realize it and settled back down. Kate stared. "Jake, what is she?" "She's my daughter," Jake said firmly. "That's all that matters." Kate was quiet for a long moment. Then she nodded. "I didn't see anything. But Jake, you need to be careful. Those Federation agents aren't going to be as understanding as I am." That night, the ship arrived. Jake was woken by a sound he had never heard before. It was like music, but it came from the sky. He looked out his window and saw the alien ship hovering over his ranch. It was even more beautiful up close, glowing softly in the darkness. Luna was standing in the yard, looking up at the ship. She was fully glowing now, her silver light answering the ship's glow. She raised her hands toward the sky, and Jake could hear her speaking in her musical language. A beam of light came down from the ship, but it was not a harsh light. It was gentle and warm, like sunlight through leaves. The light surrounded Luna, and Jake watched in amazement as she slowly rose into the air. "No!" Jake ran outside. "Luna!" Luna looked down at him, and her expression was full of love and sadness. "It's okay, Papa Jake. She won't hurt me. She's been looking for me for so long." The light lifted Luna higher. Jake could see a figure appearing in the beam, descending toward his daughter. It was a woman, tall and graceful, with silver hair like Luna's and the same elegant, pointed features. The woman reached Luna in the middle of the beam of light. When she saw Luna's face, she started crying. She spoke in the musical language, and Luna answered. Then, to Jake's surprise, both of them descended back to the ground. The light faded, leaving the three of them standing in Jake's yard. The alien woman was the most beautiful person Jake had ever seen. She looked like Luna might look in 20 years, but there was something cold and distant in her purple eyes. She looked at Jake with obvious disdain. When she spoke, her English was perfect, but heavily accented. "You are the human who took my child." "I'm the man who saved her life," Jake replied. "I'm the man who raised her and loved her for 7 years. The woman's eyes flashed. "You had no right. She is Etherian nobility. She belongs with her own people." "I belong with Papa Jake," Luna said firmly. "He's my father." The woman looked shocked. "Solmira, you do not understand. You are the heir to the throne of Etheria. You cannot live as a primitive human." "My name is Luna," Luna said, "and I am not primitive. I am exactly who I'm supposed to be." Jake felt a surge of pride. Even faced with her birth mother, Luna was standing her ground. The woman's expression softened when she looked at Luna. "My child, I have searched for you across the galaxy. When your pod was lost, I thought I would never see you again. You cannot know the grief I have carried." "I know," Luna said gently. "I've dreamed of your sadness. But this is my home now. These are my people." The woman looked around at the simple ranch house, the barn, the fields where cattle grazed. Her expression showed clearly what she thought of human civilization. "This cannot be your choice," she said. "You will come with me. You will learn your true heritage." "No," Jake stepped forward. Luna is a minor under Earth law. I'm her legal guardian. You can't just take her." The woman laughed, but it was not a pleasant sound. "Human laws mean nothing to the Etherian Empire. I am Lyrelai, first mother of the royal house. My word is law on 1,000 worlds." "Your word means nothing here," Jake said. "This is Earth. Luna is a citizen of Earth, and she's my daughter." Lyrelai's eyes began to glow with dangerous light. "Do not test me, human. I have powers you cannot imagine." Luna stepped between them. "Stop! Both of you, stop! You're both acting like children." Both Jake and Lyrelai looked surprised. "Mother," Luna said to Lyrelai, "you have been gone for 7 years. Papa Jake raised me. He taught me right from wrong. He helped me when I was scared. He is my father in every way that matters." Then she turned to Jake. "Papa Jake, she is my birth mother. She has a right to know me, and I have a right to learn about where I came from." Jake felt his heart breaking. "What are you saying, little star?" "I'm saying we need to find a way to share," Luna said. "I won't choose between you. I won't choose between my human family and my Etherian heritage. There has to be another way." Lyrelai was staring at Luna with amazement. "You speak with wisdom. Beyond your years, my daughter. I learned that from Papa Jake," Luna said proudly. Lyrelai sat stiffly at Jake's kitchen table, looking completely out of place. Her silver robes seemed to shimmer with their own light. Her jewelry was made of metals Jake had never seen before. She held the coffee mug like it might bite her. "This beverage is bitter," she said, setting it down without taking another sip. "Most people add sugar," Luna said, smiling as she got up to get some. Even in this tense situation, she was trying to help. Jake watched his daughter move around the kitchen. She had known for 7 years. Luna knew where everything was. She knew that Jake liked his coffee black and that the sugar bowl was kept on the second shelf. This was her home, but when Luna handed the sugar to her birth mother, Jake saw something that made his chest tighten. Lyrelai's whole face softened. Her cold expression melted away, replaced by such love and longing that it was painful to watch. "Thank you, my precious star," Lyrelai whispered, using almost the same words Jake always used. Luna sat back down between them. "Now we talk," she said firmly. "No more arguing, no more threats. We figure this out like a family." "Family?" Lyrelai looked confused. "Child, this human is not your family. He is merely someone who cared for you while you were lost." Jake felt anger rise in his chest, but Luna spoke before he could. "Papa Jake is my family," Luna said, her voice stronger than Jake had ever heard it. "He held me when I had nightmares. He taught me to ride horses and braid my hair. He came to every school play and helped me with homework. He loved me when I was just a scared little girl who couldn't even speak English." Lyrelai was quiet, listening, and, "You are my family too," Luna continued, looking at her birth mother. "You gave me life. Your blood runs in my veins. I dream in your language. But 7 years is a long time. I am not the same little girl who was lost." "Tell me," Lyrelai said, softly. "Tell me about these 7 years." So Luna did. She told her mother about learning to speak English, about her first day of school, about making friends with Mia. She told about helping with the ranch work, about the horses that trusted her, about the town that had accepted her. Jake watched, Lyrelai's face as Luna talked. The Etherian woman was trying to stay distant and cold, but Jake could see her defenses cracking. Every story Luna told made Lyrelai's eyes softer. "She drew pictures of you," Jake found himself saying. "When she was younger, she would draw a beautiful woman with silver hair singing to her. She always said the woman looked sad." Lyrelai's composure finally broke. Tears ran down her perfect features. "I was sad. Every day for 7 years I was dying inside. When your pod was lost, Solmira, I thought my heart would stop beating. My name is Luna now," Luna said gently. "Papa Jake gave me that name. It means moon in his language." "Luna," Lyrelai repeated slowly. "It is a beautiful name." They sat in silence for a while. Outside, Jake could see Federation ships approaching. News of the alien vessel had spread quickly. "We have a problem," Jake said. "The Federation authorities are coming. They're going to want answers." Lyrelai's cold expression returned. Let them come. They cannot force an Etherian ship to do anything. They can force Luna to do things, Jake said. If they find out what she is, they'll want to study her. They'll want to use her abilities for their own purposes. Luna looked alarmed. What do you mean? Jake had hoped to never tell her this, but the time for protecting her innocence was over. Luna, your abilities make you incredibly valuable. There are people who would use you as a weapon, others who would want to experiment on you to understand how your powers work. Lyrelei stood up abruptly. Then we leave. Now. Solmira comes with me to Etheria, where she will be safe. No, Luna said firmly. I won't run away from my home, and I won't leave Papa Jake to face the Federation alone. Child, you do not understand the dangers, Lyrelei said. I understand perfectly, Luna replied. But running away is not the answer. We face this together, as a family. A knock on the door interrupted them. Jake looked out the window and saw Federation agents approaching the house. There were a lot of them. Luna, go upstairs, Jake said. Keep your glow down. Try to look as human as possible. I will not hide, Luna said. You will do as Papa Jake says, Lyrelei said suddenly. Everyone looked at her in surprise. He has kept you safe for 7 years. His judgment is sound. Luna looked back and forth between them, then nodded and went upstairs. Jake opened the door to find Commander Phillips, the local Federation representative. He was a stern man who took his job very seriously. Mr. Morrison, we need to talk. Our sensors are detecting unusual energy readings from your property. We also have reports of an unregistered alien in your home. Jake felt Lyrelei move to stand beside him. When the commander saw her, his face went white. I am Lyrelei of House Etherian, she said in a voice that carried absolute authority. You will show proper respect. Commander Phillips nearly fell, over himself bowing. Your Majesty, we had no idea. Please forgive any inconvenience. There is no inconvenience, Lyrelei said coolly. I am here on personal business. Of course, Your Majesty. But we must follow protocol. If there are Etherian citizens on Earth, we need to process the proper documentation. The only Etherian citizen here is myself, Lyrelei said, and I require no documentation. Jake realized what she was doing. She was protecting Luna by not acknowledging her as Etherian. But the energy readings, Commander Phillips said, they suggest advanced Etherian technology. I carry many devices from my homeworld, Lyrelei said. Perhaps your primitive sensors are confused by their sophistication. The commander looked offended by the word primitive, but did not dare argue with Etherian royalty. Of course, Your Majesty. We apologize for the disturbance. When the Federation agents left, Jake looked at Lyrelei with new respect. Thank you, he said. I protect what is mine, Lyrelei replied. And Solmira, Luna, is mine to protect. She's ours to protect, Jake corrected. Lyrelei looked at him for a long moment. Yes, she said finally. Perhaps she is. Luna came back downstairs. Are they gone? For now, Jake said. But they'll be back, and eventually they'll figure out the truth. Then we need a plan, Luna said. All of us. That night they sat around Jake's kitchen table and planned the impossible. Lyrelei would stay on Earth temporarily to get to know the daughter she had lost. Luna would learn about her Etherian heritage while keeping her human life, and Jake would try to trust the most powerful woman in the galaxy with his daughters. Safety? There will be challenges, Lyrelei said. My people will not understand why I choose to remain on this world. Your people will not understand why they should trust me. We'll make them understand, Luna said confidently. Jake looked at his daughter sitting between her two parents and marveled at her strength. She was facing the biggest challenge of her life, and she was not afraid. Where will you stay? Jake asked Lyrelei. I have my ship, she replied. No, Luna said. If we're going to be a family, we need to live like a family. You stay here with us. Lyrelei looked around the simple farmhouse. Jake could see her trying to imagine living in such a basic place. It's not a palace, Jake said, but it's home. Home. Lyrelei repeated the word like she was learning a new language. Yes, Luna said, taking both their hands. Home is where the people you love are. And for the first time since she had arrived, Lyra smiled. It was a real smile, not the cold expression she had worn before. "Very well," she said. "I will learn about this human concept of home." Outside, her enormous ship settled down in Jake's back pasture, causing the cattle to run to the far end of the field. The ship's lights dimmed until it looked almost like a strange, beautiful barn. Jake Morrison went to bed that night with an alien empress sleeping in his guest room and a spaceship in his pasture. His life had just become very complicated. But, as he listened to Luna and Lyra talking quietly in the kitchen below, he realized something wonderful was happening. Luna was getting the chance to know her birth mother, and maybe, just maybe, they could all find a way to be a family, even if it was the strangest family in the galaxy. 3 months had passed since Lyra arrived. Living with an Etherian empress was nothing like Jake had expected. Lyra was trying to adapt to human life, but it was not easy for her. She had never cooked a meal, cleaned a house, or done any normal daily tasks. On Etheria, servants did everything for royalty. "The water heating device is malfunctioning again," Lyra announced one morning, standing in the kitchen doorway looking frustrated. "It's called a coffee maker," Luna said, smiling, "and you have to put water in it first." Jake watched as Luna patiently showed her birth mother how to make coffee for the 3rd time this week. Lyra was brilliant when it came to advanced alien technology, but simple human machines confused her completely. "On Etheria, we simply thought about what we wanted to drink and it appeared," Lyra said. "That sounds nice," Jake said. "But here, we do things the hard way." Lyra had been sleeping in Jake's spare bedroom. She had tried to improve it with Etherian technology, turning it into something that looked like a room from a fairy tale. The walls glowed softly, and the bed floated 3 feet off the floor. "You don't have to change everything," Jake had told her. "Sometimes simple is better." "I am beginning to understand that," Lyra had replied. The hardest part was watching. Lyra learned to be a mother to a teenager. She loved Luna deeply, but she did not know how to show it in human ways. She tried to give Luna expensive gifts made of rare alien materials. She offered to have servants brought from Etheria to wait on her. Luna gently refused everything. "I don't need servants, Mother. I need you to help me with my homework. I need you to braid my hair. I need you to tell me stories about where I come from." So Lyra learned. She learned to sit with Luna in the evenings, braiding her silver hair while telling her stories of the crystal cities of Etheria. She learned to help Luna with her studies, though Luna's human schoolwork seemed incredibly simple to her. Most importantly, she learned to listen. When Luna talked about her friends, her dreams, her fears, Lyra listened with the same attention she gave to matters of galactic importance. Jake watched this transformation with amazement. The cold, distant Empress was becoming a real mother, but Lyra was changing in other ways too. She had started helping with ranch work, though she did it in her own unique way. She could heal sick animals with a touch. She could make crops grow faster and stronger. She could fix broken machinery by simply looking at it. "You don't have to do farm work," Jake told her one day, as she helped him repair a fence. With her abilities, the job that should have taken all day was finished in an hour. "I want to understand Luna's life," Lyra said. "I want to understand why she loves this place so much." And slowly, Jake could see that she was beginning to understand. The town had accepted Lyra presence with surprising grace. Word had spread that she was Luna's birth mother, visiting from a distant world. People respected her obvious importance, but they also saw how much she loved Luna. Dr. Amy Foster had become friends with Lyra, teaching her about human medicine and learning about Etherian healing techniques. Sheriff Kate Williams had stopped asking questions and started bringing Lyra homemade cookies. "Your people are not what I expected," Lyra told Jake one evening as they sat on the porch watching Luna play with the horses. "What did you expect?" Jake asked. "Primitives, savages, beings beneath the notice of advanced civilizations." Lyra looked embarrassed. "I was wrong. Your people have something we Etherians have lost." "What's that?" "Warmth. Community. The ability to love without conditions." She was quiet for a moment. "On Etheria, everything is about power and status. Here, people care about Luna simply because she is a good person." Jake nodded. "That's what makes this place special." But their peaceful time together was about to be tested. The crisis came from an unexpected direction. A fleet of warships appeared at the edge of the solar system. They were not Etherian ships. They were from the Dominion, a hostile alien empire that had been expanding aggressively through the galaxy. "They followed my ship's trail," Lyrelay said, her face pale with fear. "They know an Etherian royal is here." The Dominion had been at war with Etheria for decades. If they captured Lyrelay, they could demand enormous concessions from the Etherian Empire. If they captured Luna, they could raise her as a weapon against her own people. "We have to get you both off-world," Jake said. "Now." "No," Luna said firmly. "We don't run. We protect our home." "Luna, these are not reasonable people," Lyrelay said. "The Dominion will destroy this entire world to capture us." "Then we stop them," Luna said simply. Jake looked at his daughter, saw the determination in her purple eyes, and felt a surge of pride. She was not going to abandon the people she loved. "What can we do against a fleet of warships?" he asked. "We fight," Luna said. "All of us. Together." The battle for Earth began 3 days later. The Dominion fleet attacked without warning. Their ships were dark and angular, designed for destruction. They began bombing major cities, demanding that Earth surrender the Etherian fugitives. Luna stood in Jake's pasture, her hands raised to the sky, glowing brighter than Jake had ever seen her. She was somehow communicating with every Etherian device on the planet, including her mother's ship. "I can feel their thoughts," Luna said, her voice echoing strangely. "They're afraid. They've never encountered an Etherian with human training." "What do you mean?" Lyrelay asked. "Etherians are taught to use their powers with precision and control. Humans are taught to fight with heart and determination. I have both." Luna's power exploded outward. Every electronic device on Earth suddenly worked better than it ever had. Human ships that should have been no match for Dominion technology suddenly found themselves enhanced beyond their original capabilities. Jake watched in amazement as Luna coordinated the defense of an entire planet. She was everywhere at once, her consciousness spread across Earth's defensive grid. Lyrelay joined the battle too, using her ship's advanced weapons to destroy Dominion vessels. But the real surprise was the human response. When word spread that aliens were attacking to capture Luna Morrison, the local girl who had grown up on Jake Morrison's ranch, people responded with fury. Not just soldiers, but ordinary citizens. Farmers flew crop dusters loaded with explosives. Teenagers hacked Dominion communication systems. Grandmothers organized supply lines. The entire town of Helena turned into a fortress. Sheriff Kate Williams led a group of volunteers who used hunting rifles and pickup trucks to take down Dominion ground forces. "I don't understand," the Dominion commander said over the communication channels. "Why are these primitives fighting so hard for 2 aliens?" "Because they're not aliens," Jake answered, having patched into the channel. "They're family." The battle raged for 6 hours. When it was over, the Dominion fleet was destroyed or retreating. Earth's defenses had held, enhanced by Luna's power and defended by people who loved her. Luna collapsed from exhaustion, but she was smiling. "We did it, Papa Jake. We protected our home." Jake held his daughter as reporters and Federation officials swarmed the area. The story of the small-town girl who had saved Earth was spreading across the galaxy. Lyrelay knelt beside them, tears in her eyes. "I understand now," she said. "I understand why you could never leave this place." "Will you stay?" Luna asked her mother. Lyrelay looked around at the ranch, at the town in the distance, at the people who had fought to protect her daughter. "Part of the time," she said. "I have duties on Etheria, but this is Luna's home, and that makes it my home, too." 6 months later, Jake's ranch had become something unique in the galaxy. It was an unofficial embassy between Earth and Etheria. Diplomats came to meet in Jake's kitchen. Scientists exchanged knowledge in his barn. Children from across the galaxy came to learn from Luna about bridging different worlds. Luna was 17 now, beautiful and wise beyond her years. She spoke for Earth in galactic councils. She spoke for humanity to alien races. But every evening, she came home to help Jake with the cattle and listen to her mother's stories. "Do you ever regret it?" Jake asked Lyrelay one evening as they watched Luna teaching a group of alien children how to ride horses. Regret what? Not taking her back to Etheria immediately. Not making her into the perfect Etherian princess. Lyrelay smiled. Jake, look at her. She is perfect. Not as an Etherian princess, but as herself. She has the best of both worlds because she was raised with love. Jake nodded. She's pretty amazing. Yes, Lyrelay agreed. She is. And so are you, Jake Morrison. You taught her that family is not about blood or species. You taught her that love is the most powerful force in the universe. I just did what any father would do, Jake said. No, Lyrelay replied. You did what only the best fathers do. You loved her unconditionally. You gave her roots and wings. You let her be herself. That night, as Jake tucked Luna into bed like he had for 10 years, she smiled at him with those beautiful, purple eyes. Thank you, Papa Jake, she said. For what, little star? For saving me, for raising me, for showing me that families come in all shapes and sizes. Jake kissed her forehead. Thank you for making me a father. As he turned off the lights, Jake looked out the window at Lyrelay's ship in the pasture. Tomorrow she would leave for a few weeks to handle.